Second last boss to show off. So this one's probably my favorite. At least conceptually, it's a really, really fun idea that I enjoyed coming up with. So, in order to summon, it's a bit convoluted. First, you got to get a Zoglin, so you got to get a Hoglin into the overworld, and then you need to introduce it to a silverfish. And the idea behind this is the Hoglin is eating the silverfish, and then a Ravager comes along and eats the Zoglin, and is now infected with silverfish parasites or corpse eaters. So the Ravager himself isn't the main boss; it's the silverfish on top, which will be quite hard to actually deal with. Oh, we got a few good hits off on that. I will just spoil it. The enrage mechanic, get rid of the parasites, and then just deal with the Ravager. But we'll go through the abilities before we do that. So, on 1, we've got Shake Off. Summons a bunch of more parasites for you to deal with. The top ones should have less HP, I believe. Yeah, and it's easier as you work your way down. They're still fairly tanky. And, how many summoned? I think 3 summoned, right? So, not as ad heavy as the spider boss, but still something to worry about. And of course, Silverfish, the passive abilities I gave them are quite annoying, so have fun with that. On 2, we have Prolonged Suffering, which actually heals the Ravager, and it's a whole symbiotic relationship. The Silverfish are trying to keep the Ravager alive as long as possible to feed off of it. On 3, Corpse Bile. Interesting. I don't know where that explosion came from. I know where this came from. This is like the Ravager vomiting, essentially. So, stomach acid of the Ravager begins to leak out. Any dislodged silverfish seem to react. Okay, I understand now. Any silverfish in his zone are meant to explode, but I have messed up the motion direction on the fireballs. Instead of going vertically, they're going horizontally. Let's see if we can figure out which one it is. So, what number? It's on 3, so it should be this chain. That's zombies, it's not Ravagers. You are the Ravagers, correct? Yes. So, that's particles. Contaminated blood. No, not quite. Some fish seem to react. Here we go. Yeah, so, what's going on here? It's on... should go X, Y, Z. But it's treating it... it's treating it as horizontal. That's curious to me. If we just summon a fireball right now, the explosive is 0, so I don't have to worry about it destroying any box. But we summon... we'll put it above our head so we can see it coming down. Fireball. I don't need any of this guy. I can paste it. Yeah. So it should come down onto us, which it does. Interestingly. So why is it sending them horizontally? I feel like they're colliding with the area of effect, and that's causing them to shoot sideways. Let's do this. Let's increase this to 5. And we'll try it again, see if that works. We do need to summon a few more silverfish, so we'll go back to 1, take off, just do it a couple times so there's some nearby. And then 3, Corpse Bile, perfect. They're going down, so they're exploding. Should make the fireballs invisible. Some of them are still going off. Are they colliding with each other, I wonder? We'll have to think about it. I might have to change that one completely. And then on 4, we have Rampage. The Ravager sort of goes crazy, takes a bit of damage, but gets amped up with speed. Essentially, it just goes nuts because of the parasites there. I put it in the flavor text anyway. The parasites drive the Ravager crazy. But anyway, if you can somehow manage to kill the silverfish before the Ravager, if he wants to slow down, I think the rate of that is a bit too high. So that was on number 4. Where is it? Not Swarm You. Oh, 4 is on this side. So 30 seconds of strength, 30 seconds of speed. Definitely way too much. Probably like 5 seconds of speed. 15 seconds of strength, or 10 seconds. No, we'll do 5 as well. So like 1 hit. 1 hit goes straight through you. And 10 seconds of absorption. Perfect. By now he should have cleared. Yeah, he's back to normal. So, let's get rid of the parasites. There is 3 of them on him. So 1's done. The rest have come back. We did get the soul, which is quite nice. Come on. My guess would be you want to do this with a bow if you want to fight the second phase. Ooh, because I don't think you can jump and hit. You might be able to do sweeper damage. Yeah, we got one there. Alright, so it's not too bad. Granted, you have to deal with the knockback from the Ravager. But there we go. So we got Lifted Burden. With the Parasite's gone, the Ravager regains its strength. You can see he's got a bleeding particle effect, so he's sort of still damaged, but he's back to his normal self. And of course, that means he has his own abilities. So he's got Charge, comes straight at you. I do like the way Teleport works. The fact that it carries him along, so it actually looks like he moves. It doesn't just pop into your position. On 2, he's got Press the Weak. So if you're too far away from him, you get completely stunned. If we're close to him, we're not affected by his roar. But if we're far away, once again, we're forced to essentially stay still while he comes at you. So it's essentially ways for him to close the gap. Toxic Blood. I don't know if he got us with that. Are we making effects? No. Let's try again. Yeah, there we go. So every, I want to say 3 seconds, we get the Crimson Fungus particle, and then we also drop a area of effect cloud underneath us. So you gotta keep moving. Essentially, your why am I trying to explain it? I wrote everything out. Anyone nearby becomes contaminated by the Ravager's blood. There you go. It will clear eventually. If it doesn't affect us, it should clear. Perfect. No, we still have it. Right, I'll get rid of manually for now. The way they'd usually work is they're on a timer system, so they'd clear, but I've turned off the whole boss mechanics, so I can show them off manually. Anyway, on for his final ability. We have Infection. I don't remember. Anyone nearby becomes infected by the Ravager's blood. Okay, so this one's very similar, except you summon Silverfish now instead. So think of it like parasites still, or parasite eggs still in the blood that you're now getting contaminated with. So yeah, so infected instead of toxic for that one. And of course, him being a boss, fairly tanky this time around. Not as much as the spider. I think in terms of difficulty, it's meant to go this Ravager guy, then the spider boss, and then the final boss, which we'll get into in the next one, obviously. Should be able to deal with him relatively quickly, though. We might get a drop. We might finally see some of the equipment I've made. Ooh, a few more hunches. Come on. And done. Ooh. 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 1, 2, 3, and 4 drops. Perfect. Get rid of that so we don't get confused. So we got the soul of hunger. We got the armor, chest plate of, I don't know even. I do random letters. However you want to pronounce it, go ahead. Lost armor of the first rune carver. It is protector 3 and warding. So if I equip it, I get absorption and I get resistance. And then we also got the trophy. If you saw last time, all you have to do is stick it in a glow item frame as hinted to by its flavor text, and the enchanted frame contains power. Chuck it in a 1, and every 12 or so seconds it should produce a particle effect and give us something. Pretty sure this one is saturation. Right, it is Festering Idol. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's saturation. So you don't run out of hunger. So it's a massive boost every 12 seconds. Ideally, if you have it set up, you shouldn't need to eat it all within a, I want to say 100 block radius. I don't know if I kept it at 50. I feel like I increased it to 100. And then we also got Crystallized Adrenaline. Hardened through constant stress, the beast's blood may offer something yet. I do not like the spacing I've set on that. Stress should be on the next line so that they're somewhat symmetrical. But anyway, these are the really important items you can get off the bosses, because they are used to craft all our passive effect items. So for instance, this boss drops the Crystallized Adrenaline, which will be used to make the Accelerator. It won't be a goat horn. I'm not sure what it will be just yet, but it won't be a goat horn. And as long as you have this in your inventory, you will ramp up speed as you're sprinting. So if I sprint for not too long, there we go, first boost. And then if we keep sprinting, we'll get another 2 boosts. So it's really good. It's great to pair with the trophy actually, because you obviously don't run out of hunger sprinting. You can zip around pretty fast. And this is sort of the main mechanic that feeds into trying to grind out the bosses, is to get all 11? Is it 11? Yeah, 11 passive items. One from each boss, except for this one. The Twisted Container is if I can talk. The Twisted Container you get from 2 different bosses. You get 1/2 of each of it, but it's really good. If you drop a stack onto the ground, and you have the Twisted Horn in your main hand, it gets compressed. So it's now stone compressed. If we swap it to our offhand, it's back to a full stack of 64. How neat. Anyway, that's it for this boss. 1 to go. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.